Dex Barbie T, it is time to get into our Ghosted. Welcome to the Facebook Live. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, as always. Tell us where you're watching, by the way. Are you guys watching us from South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, you name it? Hit us up with where you guys are watching us. We are getting into our Ghosted a little bit later on this morning. We're doing something new. Every Tuesday in the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to do something called True Crime. And so the way true crime works is if you have ever witnessed or been involved, or maybe, something happened to you where it was like some kind of real true crime, there could be like a straight up episode of this on TV. We want you to call us and share the story. What ended up happening? We actually have someone who called in earlier, not too long ago, got robbed at gunpoint. We'll go ahead and play that for you, see what your thoughts are whenever it comes to that. That's coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Good morning, Isaac. Samantha, Kokiti already on. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up? Here we go. It is time to get into our Ghosted. So we've already talked to Darren. This is the first time he actually started working on, finding love.
Yeah.
And he met this girl, Regina. It had been a year since he had dated anybody, and then he gets ghosted.
Yeah, he said he was opening up to her about things, about life and stuff, and then now he hasn't heard from her.
So we talked to Regina already. We're on Facebook Live on the Hot Facebook page, and Regina said that there was something that he opened up about, probably shouldn't have. Ooh. Apparently, he opened up about, something in his past. Well, it involved drugs. Am I right? And you're not about that.
It's crazy. Yes, he told me that he had this whole crack addiction, and he's been clean for a little while, but he went down this whole dark road where he was on street corners, shooting up crack, doing the most. And how am I supposed to trust that?
Oh, my gosh.
But I'm clean. I went to rehab, and I've been clean for a year. I don't even want to use it anymore. I told you it put me in a bad place, and now I'm better. Yeah. If anything, this shows you how committed I can be to actually change and be committed to a person in a relationship.
Look, and I'm not trying to laugh at his pain. It's just what I am baffled by is how he thinks he's committed to anything but crack. I know how addictions work. How do I know that you're not still using it?
I told you how bad my life was when I was using it. I'm not going back to that. I got clean.
You're telling us that you have not touched crack in a year.
100% true.
I still think it's too early.
Why?
That's just a fear of mine. Like, I just feel like I would need to, I don't know. Within that first year, it's rough. We've talked about this on the show before, and I just feel like maybe you need to wait a little while to get into dating.
See, that's the thing. I don't fear anything because of my addiction. Like, I'm fine with who I am now and going out and living life. I'm not going to sit in the corner and live in fear.
That's good, too. That's great.
If for some reason, that's just a no-go.
A year of sobriety is a big thing.
It is, but it's not when he was unclean for so long. And I'm not trying to be insensitive to his situation, but just because he's clean for this year doesn't mean that he's going to keep being that way. And so just for me personally, I don't trust it at this point.
So you've gone on several dates with this guy, and one date where he opens up and tells you that, hey, I used to do these bad drugs. I've gotten clean. You're not saying like any chances for him. This is done. I mean, like you ghosted him.
No, because it's only been a year. And this is what happens. The minute something goes bad for them or they get stressed out, and I know I'm generalizing, but just hear me out. The minute things get crazy or get tough, what if they feel like, oh, I need another fix?
You think the second week of me getting clean wasn't tough? You don't think the first month of me getting clean wasn't tough? I mean, you think it was just like rosy, all roses, like sunshine? No, I fought through that, and I got a year. I'm not trying to sell myself because I don't have to. I know who I am now. So you know what? I'm ghosting you.
Yeah, and he actually was done. And what are your thoughts whenever it comes to? I'm looking at the live and
Majorie said something. She said, well, no, not Majorie, Dasmine. She said, this is why men don't open up to women. But I mean, I think that it's not, I get what she's saying at the same time, but like, she doesn't have to subject herself to that.
Well, and that's one of the things on the comments as well. From past experience, she does not have to subject herself to that kind of risk. Kiana said that it's not long enough, honestly. So a year, I thought a year was a pretty big mark. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy has been able to be sober for a year. That says
And
something.
I wonder if it was the kind of drug, like, you know what I mean? Like, because in the comments, people are saying not crack. You just, like somebody said, you just don't tell me you used to smoke crack.
I don't know anything about crack.
I mean,
To be honest,
oof.
is it?
Hell, I don't know. I ain't never done it.
Why?
I just know I don't know nothing about it, but I don't want to know anything about it. And I mean that I'm not gonna lie, that would make me be like, "Eugh," you know what I mean?
You
Like
would- you would
I would be,
ghost?
yeah, probably more than likely.
If they're
Crack,
recovered,
yes.
866-639-4689. Your thoughts whenever it comes to this. Do you agree with her? Would you, if you were in that same situation, would you go someone? Would you end a relationship based off of, their past? Like on something like this? And have you? Again, give us a call. 866-639-4689. Yo, what are your thoughts on this? Good morning, Josh, over there in Knoxville. Carrie, I see you in Knoxville. Whew. Good morning. Hang on just a second. You're going to be our first person. Hey, good morning. We've got one call ahead of you. Stand by. Hey, good morning. We got two calls ahead of you. Stand by. Whew, goodness.
That's me, so stupid.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, and I'm calling from District 25.
What up?
What's
Go
up,
ahead.
25?
What's that? Okay, Barbie is right.
Run?
Oh, you breaking up, baby.
300. Okay, Barbie is right. 365 days is not enough time.
Okay. How long would you say?
He needs 5 years of sobriety.
5 years
Because-
before he can get in a relationship?
Man, do you know what crack is like?
No,
That man
I don't.
just said. Okay, well, the man just said he refused to sell himself because he knows his worth. Crack will make you sell yourself.
Yes.
Sell your kids stuff, sell your mama stuff. I'm telling you from an experience that I personally had, do not do it.
Okay.
Listen, have you ever seen crackheads gone wild?
No, but I've heard of it. Yes. Okay, and you've had a personal
Listen.
experience with this? They sold something?
Stole some family heirloom type stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
And they were sober for more than a year. So I'm telling you, Barbie is right.
Thank you very much. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Stephanie, and I'm calling from Honey Pass.
Good morning. Go ahead. What are your thoughts whenever it comes to this?
Good morning. So there's a few things. It's really a lot to unpack. For her personally, if she's not comfortable with it, that's fine. That they're just not meant to be together. So he needs to accept that and find somebody that is. And for me personally, as a child growing up with drug addict parents of hard drugs and seeing that whole lifestyle, like a year is a great milestone for him, but it would be too much for me too. I wouldn't be able to do it. Even though I saw a dad who was clean for 10 years, a year really is not a lot of time within a lifetime of drug use. So,
Okay.
I mean, I get it.
How long then? How long?
For me personally, no amount of time would be enough.
Okay.
Just from my environment, it just to each their own, I guess.
No,
Yeah.
makes sense. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your call. Whew, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Al Harris. I'm calling from Greenville, South Carolina.
Good morning. Thanks for calling in. Go ahead real quick. What are your thoughts and what is your experience when it comes to this?
Well, I myself, I was an addict. I've been married with my wife now for 8 years, and she accepted me for who I am. It takes a special lady to accept a man who has been an addict, who's been a victim to crack cocaine, who's been a victim to cocaine in general. You know, it takes a special woman. Everybody deserves love, I believe. You know, and it's not for everybody. It's
Right.
not for everybody.
Let me ask you this. So you were addicted to crack?
Yeah, I was addicted to crack cocaine. I've been shot, been locked up, and everything.
I have a question.
And I'm a minister.
When did your wife accept you? Like when you guys met, were you clean?
How long were you clean? Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I had just got out of prison. I was doing 5.5 years, but I want to tell you this too. It doesn't matter if it's a year or 10 years clean. You know what I mean? Addiction can peek its ugly head up at any moment. I mean, you could go through something that's just traumatizing, and it can push you back to addiction. It doesn't matter how long you've been clean.
Right. And she's accepted you. You guys have been married for how long?
For 8 years.
8 years. Have you ever relapsed?
Yeah. Nah, I ain't never relapsed.
Good. What did you go to jail for?
I went to jail for armed robbery, possession of a pistol.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wilding out there in the streets, because that's the type of thing crack had you doing,
Right.
Yeah.
But now I'm different, I'm new now. I have goals now. I'm an artist now. I'm a minister. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I have a life now.
Thank you for your call. Thanks for listening.
You.
No doubt.
Man, that's intense.
It is.
Wow. Hey, good morning. Hang on just a second. We've got one call ahead of you. That's it. I can only take 2 more. The phones are just flooded. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Jackie.
Jackie, what are your thoughts on this? And have you dealt with stuff like this?
I don't think I've ever been able to say that they are both right, but they're both right in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
So,
To number one, commend him. A year of sobriety from a very hard drug is a big deal.
That
so
is
he
awesome.
should be proud of himself. But it is a constant battle. It is a lifelong battle.
mm-hmm.
And if she has triggers because of past issues, they were never going to be successful in the first place.
Facts.
But I don't think he should give up. I think he should be very, very proud of himself, and she shouldn't be sorry for setting boundaries.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. It's Jessica.
Jessica, real quick. Go ahead. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, congratulations to him for staying sober for a year, but it really is that's not a long time for a lifetime of doing that particular drug.
Okay.
And speaking from experience with it, I have several close family members that have been struggling with it their whole life, and they would be sober for a couple years, and then something happens, and then they're back into it. It's one of the hardest drugs to really let go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I wouldn't deal with someone who did it because I've seen what it can do to people.
Yeah.
But, and that's her personal choice. I don't really think anybody can hold that against her.
Right.
But I hope that he continues to stay sober.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you for your call.
Jess.
Thanks for listening. Wow. So overall, I'm getting, and I mean, like, I see you guys commenting this morning on all of the stuff. Shayla, good morning. Good morning, Constance. I haven't seen all of them yet on that, but what is your overall vibe? Do you feel like, she's right for ghosting? Do you agree with Jackie? Both of them are right. She's setting boundaries. The guy's, good for, he deserves love.
Me personally.
Yeah.
There's some things that I could okay and I can't okay.
Yep.
Marijuana smoker, cool, okay.
Crack is not.
Crack is not for me. I don't care where you are in life. You've done it. I just don't. I couldn't be. That would always be in the back of my head.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
he
that's
did
just that.
So here's the question then. I mean, like, he was very honest. He was very straightforward.
Yes,
He's got a year of sobriety.
That's awesome.
So should he not be honest?
Yes, you should be very honest.
Yeah, but I mean,
always
like,
be
if
very
that's
honest.
what's
I'm
gonna
just not your
happen.
girl.
But it's always going to be in the back of his head.
But no, he should always be very honest. Don't be proud of who you are.
Yeah.
Everybody just can't deal with everything, and that is okay. You got to find your person.
Yeah.
It ain't me. And that is okay. It ain't her. And that is okay. Somebody out there, like that man, like the pastor said, it takes a special woman to deal with that.
Yeah.
And he just needs to find her.
Comments this morning. What we got?
Travis said, need more callers like him, I guess like the pastor, but all these other non-smokers trying to say it's too early. I mean,
Rejection is always a part of recovery, says Liz.
Yeah. And you can't fault her. Like, you can't be mad at her.
Yeah. What else we got?
Al is a good guy. My computer is all messed up, y'all. I can't. All I see is old comments. And it's stalling. I see nothing. Let me get on my phone.
Man, I can't believe that. It's up to the person to choose what they can handle. Barbie is right. Find your person who can deal with
Your mess.
your stuff. Okay. Um, let's
Okay.
see. Honey, a year is a lifetime. Who are you to judge? Shake my head. My mom had an addiction, and I don't
CBD,
think.
same thing. You just
Okay.
justify your lifestyle. Listen, and you know what? It's people that don't like that. And that is fine. They're not my people. That ain't my person. I don't get, I am comfortable with who I am. He needs to be comfortable with who he is. Yeah, say it. I smoke crack. I don't do it anymore. That's what he needs to say. And somebody out there will love him for him, past, present, and future. If they can't handle your past, they're not for you, and it's okay. And everybody's addicted to something. I don't care what you say, but necessarily not necessarily drugs. I don't know. My addiction is 98.1 radio. Oh my gosh,
Ah,
Matt, you're so crazy. Just because she couldn't handle
red
it
flag.
doesn't mean all women can't handle it. You got to keep trying. You'll find the right person eventually. Exactly. Today, everyone is doing drugs. You know, one thing that shocked me, and it is shocking, people doing cocaine, child. I just be like, what?
I was shocked at that. One of my friends who works in a very high level job, man, freaking high level,
Yeah.
and we're in the streets,
That's the rich man
and
drug.
then all of a sudden I see him sniff something, and I'm like, what the heck is that? And it was like cocaine. What? What?
That is not my thing. I be like, do what you want to do. Just know if any police come up here, them your drugs, yours. Everybody does deserve love, but there's levels to it. You got to find your level.
Crack, heroin, pill addicts recovery is very hard. Absolutely, especially whenever it comes to like the Suboxone stuff, and you're trying to get off of that. Anything that has a physical. So is crack one of those physical dependencies? Because there's like weed, it's different. Like if you get off of weed, yeah, there's withdrawal. But like if you get off of any kind of opioid, like you could die, like literally, like freaking die. And so that, and heroin too, that's part of that
Ooh,
as
child,
well,
them some ugly. Oh no.
right?
Mm-mm. And then that could. I mean, just think about. And also, when I think about dating and bringing someone into my life, I think longevity. I think what are the
Okay, so
long
it is.
term of
Yep.
things,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I need you to be healthy as well. That could cause some like serious health problems.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not even talking about drugs, even obesity and like your just your just whole well-being of health, your mental health. Like I look at all of those things and people in my life. Like you coming into my life, I want you to be your best self. So, yeah.
Boom, one more song and we're done. Boom. All right. I have quit hard drugs in my past, but pills are impossible. Um, are you talking about that currently? Like you're trying to get off of that, or like people who have tried to get off of that? Um, let's see. Amanda, I was with a guy that was addicted to alcohol. He was sober for a year, relapsed, and oh my gosh, and died that year. He relapsed. A year is not enough.
See, I can't, that would stress me out.
Treatment will tell you that. Focus on staying sober.
That would
You know
stress
what?
me out. Oh my gosh.
I
can
will
only
never forget
imagine.
this. I worked with a guy. This was in Knoxville. We remained friends in radio, and I traveled the world and all that kind of stuff. And then I was coming back to a market that he was in, that he was just living in. He had already been out of radio for a long time and all that kind of stuff. And we had plans. I was going to be there in January. We had plans to meet up and just catch up. We were going to do a coffee and all that kind of stuff. I was really looking forward to it. And New Year's Eve, he relapsed.
Oh no, he died.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I'll never forget that. And he had been so good, but he went out, and then next thing you know, you're in that environment, and I guess there was like some kind of trigger. You know what I mean? So that is tough. I agree with everybody that's saying that. Let's see. What up? Good morning, Maria. he was 75 years old. What? My uncle OD'd on cocaine at 75 and fentanyl a few months ago? Jeez.
Yeah, that fentanyl, boy, that'll do it. That'll do
What's
it.
the fentanyl thing, too?
People been lacing it.
Yeah,
People been lacing
why?
these drugs because they're
Why?
crazy as hell. I don't know. I don't know what that does.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
I ain't got time for that.
Everybody's addicted to something. As I take a sip
know.
of caffeine.
I'm not addicted to anything.
Your phone.
It's not an addiction.
Let's see. Oop, there we go. OT gives a different high. What's OT? Gosh, man, I really don't know anything about that
Addicted
kind of
to
stuff.
making money. Yeah, that's true.
I love money. See, it's so stressful to be with someone addicted. Yeah.
Alcohol. Could imagine one with crack. He was pulling me down with him for 3 years. Had to let him go. Oh, baby, 3 years? You allowed that for 3 years? Oh, let me tell you something. Y'all better be I feel like the world needs to learn the word no and goodbye. It is okay. No. You got to.
This is Al. Al. What a name. All right, here we go. Wow, this has just sparked such a huge response this morning. We are in the middle of our ghosted, so this guy got ghosted because of his past. About a year ago, he decided to make a big change in his life. What was that change?
He wanted to stop doing crack.
And yeah, he was addicted to these hard drugs, and he said, you know what, that's it, I'm done. He's been sober for a year. Just started getting into this relationship, dating this girl. She ghosted him when he opened up and said, yeah, this is one of the things that I did. And he was addicted to crack. And so a lot of people are actually on her side. I like what Jackie said. They're both right. A lot of people are congratulating him for a year of sobriety. But at the same time,
awesome.
They're also saying absolutely not.
That too. Because, a lot of people can't deal with it.
Right. Good morning. Go ahead, Al. You have gone through this. You have been that addict.
Well, I myself, I was an addict. I've been married with my wife now for 8 years, and she accepted me for who I am. It takes a special lady to accept a man who has been an addict, who's been a victim to crack cocaine, who's been a victim to cocaine in general. It takes a special woman. Everybody deserves love, I believe, and it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Let me ask you this. So you were addicted to crack?
Yeah, I was addicted to crack cocaine. I've been shot, been locked up, and everything.
I have a question.
And now I'm a minister.
When did your wife accept you? Like when you guys met, were you clean?
How long were you clean? Yeah.
Yeah, because I had just got out of prison. I was doing 5.5 years, but I want to tell you this too. It doesn't matter if it's a year or 10 years clean. You know what I mean? Addiction can peek its ugly head up at any moment. You could go through something that's just traumatizing, and it can push you back to addiction.
And she's accepted you. You guys have been married for how long?
For 8 years.
8 years. Have you ever relapsed?
Yeah. Nah, I ain't never relapsed.
Good. What did you go to jail for?
I went to jail for armed robbery, possession of a pistol.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wilding out there in the streets, because that's the type of thing crack had you doing,
Wow, man, I can't imagine doing something that would be like, yo, you know what? Go ahead there, buddy. Pick that gun up. Look at that convenience store. Go ahead and rob it.
Yeah, because you want that high. If you got that money to get your drugs, then you're going to do whatever it takes.
Right.
And that's the scary part. Like Travis on Facebook Live said, I dated a girl who stole my medication for oxycodone. She even went to the pharmacy to refill my medicine and said it was for me.
Oh, wow. See, and this
nuh-uh.
is why we can't have nice things, because you have to if you do a subscription for any controlled substance like that, there's a lot of hoops you got to jump through now, I think. Right?
That girl easily got it for him.
Yeah, but that might have been in the past. I don't know. Either way, 866-639-4689. We talked to one girl who said, no, 1 year of sobriety isn't enough. It needs to be at least 5 years. Go ahead.
Constance says, my cousin literally just tried to kill himself yesterday, battling his years of addiction. He's been clean for 3 years.
We all know that this is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Good gosh. It's an issue in all sorts of areas. We know where some areas are a little bit worse than others, but still.
Yeah, and it's just it's okay. Like Jackie said before, it's okay. If she cannot handle it, it's okay for her to say, I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And like the pastor said, it takes a strong kind of person to deal with someone that's been through this.
Right. Again, 866-639-4689. Coming up in just about 2 songs, we're going to try something new. Every Tuesday, what we're wanting to do is we want to hear your stories. Have you ever gone through like some kind of true crime? Like maybe, it was an ex, or maybe it was like, someone you worked with. Maybe it was just you in general, or someone in your life that like committed some kind of crazy crime and you were like there and you heard about it or you witnessed it, or maybe you were, maybe you did it. Who knows? But you're welcome to call in this morning. True Crime Tuesday right here on Hot.
Oh my gosh, Renee, I had no idea. I'm so sorry for your loss.
What happened?
So Renee's brother OD'd 1 week after his year sober. He lost his job, did it again, and died September 1st last month.
Good morning. Hang on just a second. Good morning. We've got one call ahead of you. Stand by. The thing that's so difficult about that, same thing happened to that guy that I was supposed to meet up. When you get sober, keep in mind, you keep building this tolerance, and then after being sober for a year, that tolerance goes away, but in your head, you don't think about that, and it's so easy to get back into it, and then you start doing the drug, and that's why you OD, because you think that you can take more than you can.
Right.
That's what happens. Yeah, I agree. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sarah. I'm calling from Greenville.
Okay, good morning. What are you calling in on? True Crime Tuesday?
Yes.
What happened?
Okay. Okay. So long story short, my ex-boyfriend had got with a girl after we had broke up, and they went to rob her brother.
What?
So what they did was, yes, they went to rob her brother, and what they did was she walked in, and they had it set up like they kidnapped her, tied her up, and put her in the back of the car. And they stole like some shoes, and they like hit him with a gun upside the head and stuff, and try to play it out to be like he was like in there like taking her for hostage and stuff, but she was in on it the whole time. Well, it all came out, and now he's facing like home invasion and everything.
How many years is he looking at?
15.
How long ago did this happen?
It was like 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's still in jail right now.
How long is that girl looking to get?
She, I think what she did was, I think she took some type of plea deal or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Because she told.
She ratted.
Like, that's how they found out, is she ratted out on him.
Okay. Thank you for your call.
Ooh-wee.
Dang.
Yes.
That's nuts. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning. My name doesn't matter, but I'm calling from Knoxville.
Sounds good. Are you calling for True Crime Tuesday?
Yep.
Okay, what happened?
Wait. Ghosted.
Oh, okay.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Okay. So when it comes to the ghosted this morning, I'm not with the girl at all. I'm with the guy's side. As a recovering coke addict, I have been clean now for 5 years.
Congratulations.
Yes,
partner-
congratulations.
Thank you. It's a battle every day. And my partner, when we first got together, was battling an addiction with Xanax. And he is now clean for a year, and I was there with him every step of that way.
Wow. And that, you know what? And I think that after, dealing with that kind of addiction, once you've gotten past that part and you guys can, be there for each other, I mean, that support system is really important. I agree
It
with
really
that.
is. And, being that you've been through it yourself, you were able to do that. Yeah. And I just think that for people that have not been through that and are terrified of that, she's not the one for this man.
I completely understand and agree with that, because if you've never been put in the position, then you don't know what kind of a struggle or pain it is.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your call. And congratulations on 5 years, man. Make it 20. Okay, she hung up. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Or do you want to be anonymous?
Nah, that's fine. I got a loud mouth so people around here know who I am. This is DJ from Oglethorpe.
Okay, so now, are you calling in about True Crime Tuesday?
Yes, I am.
What happened real quick? Go for it.
I worked at a gas station, and, of course, it's Sunday night. Ain't nothing happening. I'm waiting to get out of there. It's about time to get off. And somebody comes in, 2 guys come in and rob it at gunpoint.
Damn.
And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that the gas station was across from the police station.
Shut up.
No, they
lie.
didn't. Girl.
They did. And, of course, it was Sunday, so nobody was there. It took the be asking everybody like an hour to get to the damn gas station after this shit had happened. And it was right across from the police station.
That's nuts.
Did they catch the guys?
Yes, they did. They caught them all. Apparently, it was the two that came in the store, and then they had two in the car doing the getaway drive. So.
Right, yeah. Were you
Wow.
freaked out? What was going through your mind when they pulled the gun on you?
It was crazy, because I had recently, before that, lost my dad,
Oh.
and I have 4 children. At the time, I only had 2 children. So it was like I was thinking that I may never see my kids again, but at least I'll go be with my dad again. So it was a bittersweet, crazy. You can't even, you don't even know what emotions you're going through,
Your
or
life
what's running through
flashed
your
before
mind
your
in that
eyes.
situation.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yep.
Thank you for your call. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Glad you're safe, Charles.
Yeah, that typewriter sound is her peeking out. She's very loud. Jared, I'm going to save these calls. Can you? I want you to edit this one for me. Can you? I'm saving in the transfer.
I went to get at lunch one day,
Huh?
and a lady was seizing and actively ODing in the drive-thru. I did CPR until the firefighters got there, but she ended up dying, even though they gave her Nican. Seriously, y'all, get off these drugs. Oh my God, kill Keithia.
Try to get the clips out.
Yo, I went to the what is it? The health department to go get something. I think it was, what was I getting? I think I was getting my birth certificate or something for my passport. Anywho, went there, and next thing I know, this lady comes running to me. Where's the people that work here? And I'm like, girl, I don't know nothing. I don't know what she's like freaking out. And she's going to run and get people. Next thing you know, all these nurses and stuff are running out, and somebody was like ODing in the parking lot. I don't think they died, but still, it was scary. That is some scary stuff.
An F-bomb in there.
Her lips were blue, and after 15 years of working in the medical field, I knew it was a slim chance. I broke down crying afterwards. Oh my God, Kokethia. See, I can't. Ooh wee. I hate to admit this, but my biggest addiction is women, and lead me to addiction. I'm sorry, I'm not talking about hoes.
Here we go. Well, you know what? For the first time we've been doing this, wow, these stories are intense. We're doing True Crime Tuesday.
Yeah, call in with your true crime stories.
Right. Whether, it happened to you, whether you were the person that was the perpetrator, maybe this was an ex that did some kind of like crazy crime, hit us up with your stories. Our first one this morning, 866-639-4689. Good morning. Go ahead. Tell us your story.
So long story short, my ex-boyfriend had got with a girl after we had broke up, and they went to rob her brother.
What?
So what they did was, yes, they went to rob her brother, and what they did was she walked in, and they had it set up like they kidnapped her, tied her up, and put her in the back of the car. They stole, like, some shoes, and they, like, hit him with a gun upside the head and stuff, and try to play it out to be like try to play it out to be like he was, like, in there, like, taking her for hostage and stuff, but she was in on it the whole time. Well, it all came out, and now he's facing, like, home invasion and everything.
How many years is he looking at?
15.
How long ago did this happen?
It was like 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's still in jail right now.
How long is that girl looking to get?
She, I think what she did was, I think she took some type of plea deal or something because she told.
She ratted.
Like, that's how they found out, is she ratted out on him.
How you Mona Lisa your own brother?
I mean, just like that. I mean, like you're facing 20 years in jail.
Messed up.
15 years in jail.
Gosh.
Would you, okay, so they came to you with that deal. 15 years in jail or none?
What?
Yeah, they come to you. We're going to, you're going to go to jail for 15 years, or you can rat this person out and get no jail time.
Oh, yeah, he going to jail by himself.
Okay, see, that's all. So here you
I'm saying, she set up her brother, though. I'm talking about how she set up her brother.
Yeah. Listen.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely not going to jail for nobody. The hell you say?
866-639-4689. True Crime Tuesday. Have you ever witnessed, been involved, or dealt with some kind of crazy true crime story? Call now. Share your story. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Or do you want to be anonymous?
Good morning. I'd like to be anonymous.
Okay, sounds good. Let's hear your story. Go for it.
So when I was 19 years old, I instead of going back home to my parents after my boyfriend and I broke up, because they said if I dated him, I couldn't live in their house. So instead of going back home, I decided to stay with some friends. And her name was Big Mama, and she had a couple sons. A son who stayed with her, and then his cousin who stayed with her as well. And the cousin had a girlfriend. He kicked her out of the house after breaking up with her. And so then he and I started hooking up. Well, this girl got jealous, and the first thing she did was follow me around town, threatening me. She almost got out of the car to beat me up at one point in time. So I drove by the police station and told them what was happening, because the police officers were just standing out there. And so they told us to pull in and, we're going to try to talk it out, work it out. Well, she drove off, screeching her tires, screaming FUB. And so the police chased her down and got her for harassment. She came to my job. She got me fired from my job for cursing me out. And then finally, after that harassment with the police thing, she drove by Big Mama's house screaming that she was going to kill me. Well, one of the cousins of the family had a housewarming party. And so, of course, I took Big Mama and her husband to the housewarming party. And when they were ready to come home, I brought them home. And that's when the little girls, the little cousins, 14, 15 years old girls, they said, yo, this girl's up the street. I'm going to go say something to her about what she's been doing to you. And I was like, nah, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. And like I said, I was 19 and they were adamant about going. So I said, I'll go up there with you guys just to make sure you're safe. So I went up the street and the girls started talking to this girl. Her name was Betty. Anyhow, they started talking to Betty, and I crossed the street, and that's the last thing that I remember, because before the end of the night, she hit me with her car.
Damn!
She swerved to hit me on the side of the road. I flew over the top of her car and almost died. So,
how many years did she get?
He got found guilty of assault and battery of high aggravated nature and leaving the scene of an accident. And she got 5 years probation, which she did not complete after about a year of being in probation and paying restitution. She moved to an Indian reservation and hasn't been heard from since.
Oh, no, we need to find Betty. Girl, okay. I'm with that. But listen,
we got to go to the next
call. We got to find
call.
Betty.
Yeah, thank you for your call. Thanks for listening. What a story.
Because she got time to pay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Thank y'all.
Good morning. Go ahead. What is your true crime story?
Hey, good morning. This is Anonymous Josh.
Oh, boy.
Hey, this is a big one.
Okay, now real quick, though. We got to get it real quick. Let's hear it.
I'm going to do it as good as I can. So his name is Bill Grantham. He'd worked for my grandpa all my life that I could remember. Came to work every day, the hardest working man. I grew up with this guy. I learned so much from him. He ended up going into business with my grandpa, flipping houses. That's how much he trusted him. Well, Bill Grantham had a son who was in and out of jail all the time for armed robbery, all this stuff, because he was addicted to crack. Bad drug addict, bit. My grandpa kept giving him jobs, and he'd come into work for 3-5 days, get a paycheck, quit. Happened several times. Well, he'd done that yet again, came into work, quit. That night, apparently, he'd come into Bill's room while he was asleep, trying to steal money out of his wallet or something, and Bill woke up and caught him. They got into an argument. He ended up killing him and his mother with a hammer, came in the room and beat their heads in.
Jeez!
And then they also had a 12-year-old daughter. Took off with the 12-year-old daughter, stole Bill's truck and all his tools, and took off with this 16-year-old girlfriend that this guy had. This dude was like 23 or 24, by the way. So that itself is terrible. They went across the country, pawning his tools, going, it was all over the news. Police was after him.
What happened to the kid that they had kidnapped?
Okay, so somewhere in Indiana, he dropped a kid off at like a church doorstep, and went on. Ended up at a hotel somewhere in Indiana, making it, heading up north. Tried to rob a guy in the parking lot of the motel they were at, and ended up shooting that guy. And the guy was from New York, and he happened to have a gun on him too, so he shot back. Ended up killing each other in the parking lot.
That is insane.
What the hell?
That is insane. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and my grandpa had to clean his house out, and we put it all in. Bought like a big long U-Haul truck. Putting all this stuff behind my house for about 2 years.
Man,
before we was able to go back through it all.
That's a big share.
Terrible.
Thank you so much, Josh.
Thank you,
Anonymous Josh. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. 15 years ago or better, it happened.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Good morning.
That is wild. Jake must have the same lawyer as Dr. Marie. Wait, what did I miss? Petty Betty just down here mowing people down and got probation, right? I can't believe that. We need to find Betty.
That's insane. All of those
Betty
stories are insane.
That story made my inner Spartanburg come out. Oh God. Because I would have to find Betty.
Yeah, well,
I would have gave Betty her round the first time.
It was a big
We wouldn't have
buildup,
waited
though.
to no car. That is huge. And then I feel like them little girls set her up.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the only thing I will say to that girl is why. You knew this girl had threatened to kill you. The kid is dumb. The kid's 14. They don't know any better. Oh, I want to confront them. That's stupid. You just stay at home. You know what I mean? Like, God. And then here's the thing. She hit her with the car, sent her to the hospital, and all you get is aggravated assault?
Probation.
Probation? That's
when
attempted
they
murder.
clearly she's already told the police about this girl. Everybody heard her threats. Girl,
I would be furious if that's all.
She would have been got.
That's insane.
She would have been got. Child.
Oh, okay. So, what are our thoughts about True Crime Tuesday? I feel like this is a win, right? We're gonna have to keep doing this.
Wild.
You got a story? Okay, we're actually gonna wrap up our live right now because I got to edit. Barbie, you got stuff? Are you good?
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So we're gonna wrap up, guys. Thank you so much. What's up, Stacy? Gary, good morning to you. Not right now, Travis, but give me 5 minutes. I got to get to all of these stories, man. These stories are insane. And
Buenos dias.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Boom. Whew.